Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America, and President Donald Trump just got exactly what he wanted from the United States Supreme Court. Before we get started, please, if you're not doing it already, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out. We do appreciate it so much. You know, I think President Trump does a lot of things because he wants to get them to the Supreme Court. He makes a lot of executive orders and does a lot of executive actions because the goal is to get the Supreme Court to adjudicate them. I've been telling you guys this for months. And this is the biggest case in point of that. I think the entire reason the President of the United States challenged the 14th Amendment was for this moment, was to get it to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court did something unprecedented. They're going to hear arguments in May. Now, this is after their session, but this is a big enough case that they feel the need to hear it now. Not next year, but now. They're going to hear it in May. They're going to issue their decision either the end of June or beginning of July, most likely. And it could change the entire fabric of the United States. Because if you get rid of birthright citizenship, and what that means is, an illegal alien comes here, they give birth, and that baby's a citizen. Now they have an anchor to stay here. If you get rid of that, that changes a lot of things with immigration, because there's an industry devoted to bringing pregnant women here so they can give birth on American soil. The original reason for the 14th Amendment, the original reason for birthright citizenship was to make certain that the children of slaves were considered citizens. That was a noble cause. The people who wrote that, I have to believe, did not think it would be used after the first generation of slaves, their children were born. After that, I figured, they probably figured, well, that's it. This will never be an issue again. I don't believe this is what the intention of that amendment was. And I think the Supreme Court has a chance now to actually put that in writing, to actually nail that down. I want you to watch this video and let me know what you think in the comments.
Justice lead, more on that move by the U.S. Supreme Court, which agreed to hear oral arguments next month, May, on whether the Trump administration can take steps to try to enforce its executive order to end what's called birthright citizenship. While the legal fight over the plan continues, the U.S. Supreme Court will consider whether lower court judges had the authority to put that executive order on hold across the entire country. So let's talk about this with CNN's chief legal affairs correspondent Paula Reed and CNN senior legal analyst Ellie Honig. And Paul, the Supreme Court did not agree to Trump's request that would have allowed him to start enforcing his birthright citizenship plan right now. But it does seem significant that they're hearing this argument on whether or not the lower court even has the authority to pause his executive order.
This is huge because we've seen this tension between the White House and the judiciary building, and nothing vexes President Trump more than the fact that lower court judges a single judge can block his policy for the entire country. Now, he's not the only one this happens to. All modern presidents have faced this. It frustrates all of them. But look, no one has had more policies blocked than Trump because he's issued a record number of executive orders and he plays at the edges of constitutional power. Now, the argument in favor of allowing judges to do this is that you have one policy governing the entire country, and the policies can be paused while they are vetted for whether they're constitutionally valid. And I think it's so interesting that what brings this issue to the Supreme Court is birthright citizenship, because for all the bravado the Trump legal team has about how their policies are going to be upheld by the Supreme Court, this is the one where they sort of tell me, we're not sure we're going to win. So it's interesting. It's become like a Trojan horse to get this bigger issue of the power of judges before the high court.
Yeah, and as you note, this is an issue that has that Biden had to grapple with, that Obama had to grapple with, but